Nino apparently was how the trains go. I tend to hear ambulances make that noise. They go Nino, Nino. That's an ambulance kind of sound. It's not really a train sound, but you do get the big trains that go past my house sometimes.
It sort of worked in the moment. It worked. I got where you were going. It was just a big air horn. Like I got it, but yeah, it was hilarious.
It was one of those, mate. Well, we'll see if the Nino returns or if there's going to be a ban against it from Secret. There is not. It's going to be the Habana ban for them. So Blitz is in play. It's all I'm saying at this point, right? And Cowana even starting the defense. So we have yet to discover what round 7 is going to hold for us. We'll find out when we get there. Next ban coming out of Secret is going to be the Clash. We've seen this banned away against Cowana already this season. Mentioned a couple of times back then about how back in the old days when I think of Cowana, it used to be one of their go-to operators. The final one, therefore, to come through from Cowana. Okay, very nice, Kendra.
The mind games have started already.
Oh, for one site. Oof! Exclamation mark. Just to add a little bit of salt in the wounds, I guess.
The mind games begin already. Secret just saying quite clearly that they are not interested in playing against the Clash on one site or any other. I am certain of it. Heading towards round 1 at breakneck pace then, and I've got a feeling that this is going to be a game that matches up to that speed one way or another. I just think it's going to be fast and ferocious. We're going to be heading to Laundry and Supply to begin things. Down to the basement we go for the first defense from Cowana.
And the mirror being swapped in at the last second as well. We've seen this employed by a couple of teams over the last few play days on the downstairs site, especially normally facing in towards Laundry. And watching back the Na'Vi versus BDS game, there was one really interesting adaptation that I think we haven't seen in EU all that much, and that is the teams were starting to attack from all sides of the map at the same time onto this downstairs site. Historically, it had kind of been the big tower and the blue push. Other times, it had been the Laundry and the freezer push. Whereas Na'Vi especially, were really kind of doubling down on the let's attack from all of those areas at once. It does spread you thin, but I think as Says proved in one of their more rushy rounds, when they kind of rushed down the L and then stopped at that point, Says came in from Laundry and killed 2 or 3 members on the side of BDS. It does go to show that using all sides of the map at once can be magical.
Difficult to argue with the tweet that just came in there. Vitality on a real glow up at the minute and securing that win in the last matchup against Na'Vi. You are quite correct. They really are flying at the minute. And this is, as I said, a couple of weeks ago, Vitality with a real unpredictable element inside of this league. And I really did feel that it could go one way or the other. And we're seeing it go only one way, and that is up at the minute. Now, Grizzly, he's going right up in the faces of Team Secret here, just looking to cause a nuisance out on the roam. This is an aggressive start from Cowana. We've got a number of roamers out in the map, and as you said, Des, it's always interesting at the minute to see where that attack shapes up from. It's a little bit, I'm not saying they've taken it from them, but it is a little bit of a LATAM trait to get down there and really push onto all sides. It's a Team Liquid thing quite often. They'll get into freezer, they'll get Palu down Laundry stairs, a bit of pressure into bunker, and it just causes defensive teams an absolute headache of where to focus. But tell you what, Grizzly's going to be left with a headache as Prano shuts him down on the freezer stairs.
Nice and early. One thing that we didn't touch on that I've only just really spotted actually is look at the operator lineup coming out for Secret. Gonfi has been their entry playing the Ashe and has had abysmal stats. There's no way around it. We've seen Hive, Draven, even Prana playing on the supportive roles. But today they said, you know what, boys? Enough is enough. We know what our strengths lie. Give Draven grenades. Get Hive back on the Nomad. Stick Prana on the entry or secondary entry. Normally it'd be on a Zofia, but here he's taking the Ashe. So Slevin can sit on the Zofia. So some changes coming in for Secret this week. Positive changes of that, I think, but whether or not it gets some results thereafter will be one that still remains to be seen.
Draven opening up the hatch in security, so there is going to be some attention paid to Freezer, especially now that they've managed to clear off Grizzly from the stairs. I'm sure that's just going to have maybe shaped the attack a little bit. They were already moving in through small tower, so working on that side of the map, but it seems to have been a little bit of a shift here towards the back side of site, looking at the rear stage and electrical hatch to just apply some pressure to pillar, and I'd like to see some focus elsewhere, Des. We've said that a lot of success has come from pushing multiple sides at once down here, and it really does seem if you give the defenders an opportunity to figure out that, right, this is all coming from electrical and pillar, all guns point in that direction, and it can be a big ask. Now the drop comes in, Kendrew's in Harry Potter and shuts down 1-2 as he flips the turn and burn on the 180 and takes himself a double. Cowana have absolutely no trouble shutting down that attack from Secret, and I feel like it was down to it just coming in from one direction, Des.
This is the thing I was speaking about. The teams like to kind of play this, one side of the map rather than splitting across all four. And here it did turn into just that. A little bit too predictable, I feel, for Cowana almost as well. Engineering all their players to be looking the same way. No real threat from the drop. No threat coming in from construction. So Kendrew had all the focus in the world to give towards the big tower stairs and finds the 2K off the back of it. Well handled early on by Cowana, starting this game off promisingly. By the way, have they always had a lowercase c at the end of their names? Has that always been a thing? Somehow I feel like it's not.
Who?
Cowana, with like a lowercase c to start off Cowana.
What, as opposed to an uppercase?
Yeah, or a full caps or whatever.
All right. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look back. It is very uniform now. It is very uniform.
But I was like, is this how it's always been? Because I'm not sure. It feels like a real stupid point. It is a stupid point, chat, to get hung up on the one.
Well, that's what threw me, Des. You bring along.
And it bothered me.
You bring along so many big brain takes, and then you drop, is that a lower C on me? And I'm wondering where we're going with it. I'm looking for more, if I'm honest.
I don't know, man. I just saw it, and something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but hey, they won the round. That's what feels right so far, at least if you're a Cowana fan, for Secret less so. Let's give that one a second bash, they say, this time on the top floor, moving away from the downstairs after Cowana were just successful there. Now, what are we going to see here, Ace, do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to be a master and attic push, kind of an old school one, or do you think we move more towards the kind of, dare I say, new meta setup where so many teams, and I think this is inspired very heavily by NA, where we have a white stairs and big window take instead?
There's been a lot of focus towards big window, you're right. I think we're still going to see an attic push here. We can see that we've got Sleben and Draven over on the big tower. Prano coming in with a rapid fire entry onto Gorgona, just absolutely deleting the Valkyrie. And I'm going to stick by what I've said previously. I know everybody's got access to those cameras. Big run out from Sloth. Not going to get him much joy there as he just takes a little bit of chip damage off Gonfi, but has much more returned himself. And the point that I was making about the Valkyrie going, you expect that Valkyrie to have a real intimate knowledge of exactly where those cams are placed. She should be on them full time now. So that for me is sort of half, 3/4 of a death, because there's going to be a lot of information raining back in. I'm not sure about this Surya Gate placement, Des. We've got it on the left-hand side of attic.
Right name.
I'm not sure about the laser gate, Des. It's on the left-hand side as we look at it. Now, everybody knows that it's the right-hand panel that gets opened up by Maverick. So, there you go. I know it prevents nades and other throwables being tossed in from the stairs, but you can move in behind the boxes and still launch them over from relative safety. So, we'll see as it develops whether it slows down this push into attic or not. We've got Comfy opening up that master bedroom wall as well. So, pretty quick moving from Team Secret here.
Yeah, I completely buy what you're saying there. Maybe didn't want to risk a nade being thrown through a high-level hole. Not sure, but either way, a nade will come singing in regardless once you've got that right side open up. So maybe a lesson for future. Only get the Surya Gate down on the left-hand side, or the laser gate, sorry. That grenade comes singing in, though. Ain't no worries, mate. The shield is cleared out. The ADSs are also gone. That's Anarchic now being threatened. If they can remove him, they can push in through the game breach, which is what they've already got opened up. So Anarchic really is the linchpin of this attack. Everything spins on a dime, and Anarchic is worth $1 million here. If he gets removed, this gets a lot easier. Great grenade from Draven. This is why we're so glad to see him back on these nade operators as well. He was the nade king in the 2020 season.
Absolute beauty. Cooked to perfection there. Just bouncing off the ceiling and absolutely decimating the man inside of Dorms. Now, Sleben gets one onto an Arctic, finds the man below. Gonfi with a kill onto Grizzly, proving the angles work both ways, and we picked up on Gonfi, Des. Maybe a slight role change for him, but it's doing bits. He's getting in there and getting the kills. Great start for him. 2-0. Sorry, no, 1-1 coming in. Cowana, of course, taking round one. That leaves us level pegging.
It does, and that was a really good round from Secret, actually, when you think about it. Near flawless, except for Sloth's final kill at the very end. We spoke a bit about where they were going to attack from. We spoke about Anarchic being the absolute center, the anchor of that whole attack. But the grenade onto Kendra inside of Kids removes Anarchic support. Anarchic then gets killed out as well, which enables the push to come through from game. And admittedly, smart play on the side of Cowana. They did have someone downstairs below the breach coming in through game, which could have put the whole attack on the back foot, really, and upset them because they couldn't get through game with the diffuser. But no, they win the vertical trade. They win their ones in a way Secret do, and they steamroll their way through Cowana in that round. Really good to see what feels like one of the first structured attacks we've seen out of them all season long.
Excellent stuff. Now, Noah Rooney brought along this time. As I said, I understood the purpose of it, to cut down that long angle on the nade, but it came in all the same and cleared the shield out. So I think a good adaptation there, just recognising, hey, you know, we give it a try. That wasn't really the play. We can bring along more useful utility this time along. So Grizzly, he's going to have the Wamai this time and just try and get some of those magnets out and prevent the throwables in an alternative way. Now, Cowana just raining out the same cams. You got to be careful with that as Valkyrie sometimes. I would assume that maybe the cam was active throughout the round, because you've got to have multiple locations. You've got to have variations, because teams will come in, they'll check those default spots, they'll check places that they've found cams from you before, and you've got to be able to mix it up as a Valkyrie. You've got to have a variety of options to use those black eyes.
Either that, or it's going to get exposed after Medics chooses to look at them every single round in a row. No one is safe from the Observer God Medics. He will spot out every single cam, reveal it to your enemies, reveal it to all the ranked players in chat, and it won't be used for much longer than that. But you are right, it's going to really get caught out pretty soon and cleared out not too long after. Even without the IQ being on side, just feel a little bit obvious in some ways, I think is the best way to describe it, that you know outside big window they want some kind of visibility. As soon as you know there's a Valk on side, chances are it's going to get deployed in that area.
Certainly is. Now Prano's moved in quickly once again, just being backed up by the Nomad of Hive as well, just having those air jabs deployed to stop any potential flanks. Hive, job done. He's going to dip away. Draven gets up towards that double window, so maybe seeing a little bit of pressure, but seems to think better of it this time around. The Maverick pushing inside of the map instead, rather than going out towards the double window. That's going to leave Prano to potentially push up the white stairs, but for the time being, he is going to be on the drone, and this is no doubt why. He's feeding the information in, the locations of those defenders upstairs, and that's why Maverick moved back in to deploy those nades under and try to just take the feet off somebody, but he won't have any success.
In case you hadn't already clocked, by the way, the R&D looking to push through big window here, so they've completely flipped their attack from being on the east side of the map to now being out towards the far west. You're Gonfi looking to hold that longer angle through sight as best they can off towards the left in case someone does try and cut the rotate through, but it's Hive to pick up Grizzly. And where on earth did he die from? On the window, tried to come out onto Hive. So they've got the kids window, they've got big window. Next step is to get someone on white and pushing up that way, and suddenly you're in a terrifying position. However, Hive, I think, is now going to go and take at it, which would add another problem to Secret, because they then lose the north control. They can basically play nowhere in any of the sites without being pinched.
Hive, as you say, just looking for a tight angle. He thinks that there's a man just down behind the sort of half wall, but I don't think he's going to get any joy there. Kendrick,
oh, there he is.
See what he can find, but Hive has got himself in as soon as he recognises there is nobody there to stop him. He's gone through them like a hot knife through butter, Des. He finds himself a fourth Gonfi. He's getting the diffuser down. Cowana steps up, does what he can, stops that plant. He's got 3 more to find. Absolutely not a chance as Sleben. He steps in and just slides the ace away from Hive, but they won't mind. It's all about rounds. It's all about maps. It's all about wins in EUL. And Team Secret, they're looking good today.
Oh, as soon as he found that kill onto the player that came and pushed him on the attic window, we spoke it into existence. We said, oh, surely he can slip in behind them and just completely take the rug from under their feet. And what did he do? Get him through the attic window, kill Kendra who's playing in there, kill the player and kids, remove all of their north side control. And from there, the only spot that the defenders had to be able to play around by the looks of it was going to be on white stairs. And from there, they could do almost nothing. Another really solid attack by Secret. And again, dare I say, kind of the small changes are like making a huge difference, but they absolutely are here. Hive has been a Nomad player, this kind of flex player for the team for the longest of times, and seeing him go back to playing more supportive operators was like, that's not his style. That's not what Hive does. But here you're putting them into spots where Prano's on the entry. He collected 2 entry kills so far just by charging into the map and picking those up. You've got Hive pulling out a 4K, Draven peppering the enemy team with grenades. This is going back to what made Secret such a good team at the start of Stage 2 2020, and I'm living for it.
Sleben turning up once again in that round just to clean things up. Certainly been head and shoulders the best player for Team Secret so far in terms of the statistics. At least he is really herring away, and I dread to think where they'd have been without him on some of the weeks that they've had. But we are back in the laundry and basement this time around. It's round 4. We find ourselves 2-1 here in favour of Team Secret. Now, last time around, Cowana had a reasonably good run of this site. They got themselves locked in. They recognized recognised that Team Secret were pushing from one direction, which was the rear stage stairs and the electrical hatch drop, and they really pushed it in numbers, but were completely unsuccessful. Now, I'd like to see, as we discussed, there's a bit more variety in the push from Team Secret here. I want to see this develop. I want to see them clear the roamers out and get themselves down and established in freezer. Then apply some pressure to rear stage or maybe through laundry and just make it difficult, make it uncomfortable for the defenders. Have them spinning round on their heels.
And you're already seeing through the floor here as well, that yellow laser beaming its way down towards Zulu, which gives all the info they need. That's going to be another entry kill coming out for Secret. This time around, Sleben strikes big. It's not just Prana that can do the work, of course. The Ashore, the Zofia pairing can be absolutely monstrous when you get it going the right way, which feels like what they've got it going so far in this game. One thing I'm always keen on, and I know that you're very keen on with your stats as well, Ace, is tracking that when they get the entry kill, how many of those rounds do they go on to win? They lost the first one when Cowana took that one away from them, despite Prana getting the entry kill. The last two, of course, they found it and still managed to walk away the victor. And the trend is seeming to continue here in round number 4. It's going to be a second kill of a round, a 5 versus 3 for Secret. These are the kind of rounds that you as a team should practice to the high heavens, never to throw away.
Well, looking overall, Des, I can tell you that the stat for the whole stage for Team Secret is only 56% of rounds where they are on the attack and get the opening kill do they go on to win, and that needs to improve. I'd say a league average is usually sitting at around 75% for that, so they are definitely below par at the minute, and Team Secret, they need to come in and take advantage when they get a man ahead, especially as they have now with 2-man advantage here. 5 versus 3 heading into the final minute. They're making good time. Draven is getting the electrical hatch open as well. Gonfi looking to put a bit of pressure on from the bunker side, or at least just remove that laser gate from play and allow Cowana to think that there could be men pushing in from there. A drone goes into freezer. Are we going to see that multifaceted attack that we want?
I think we're going to see it, Ace. It looks like that's what they're starting to square it for. I'm so happy that you've now rescinded to saying Lasergate a lot more, by the way. It makes my heart warm and happy. Grenades are coming singing in, and Sloth, already on low HP, wants to be nowhere near that, else death surely follows momentarily after. He's holding the tight angle here, so the pressure's come in. He might be able to swing on that one, but Draven had no idea he was off to the side. An R-kick looking to come in for some support, but it's going to be an absolute collapse as Prano finds 2. Sleben the last with the impact coming in as well. And Secret explode into the round ending there and pull themselves up to a 3-1 lead. Not a scoreline I thought I'd be talking about today.
And look at where it gets finished from, Des. Just coming in, Sleben moves through freezer and finds that final kill. I think it was Sleben that was moved through it, possibly Prano. 2 kills went down at the same time, so it does make it a little bit difficult to judge sometimes. But moving in through freezer, just getting that alternative angle, and it didn't matter what was going on inside of the site then because they had it covered off. So like you said, the Maverick Draven moves in. Sloth, he's got a tight angle on the wall, manages to get himself a nice headshot, shuts down that potential plant attempt. But it doesn't matter that they didn't know Sloth was there, because guess what? He's getting absolutely smashed from freezer door 2 seconds later. So perfect play from Team Secret. They're looking like a different outfit tonight, Des.
And it all comes down to the role changes that we spoke about. And I can imagine many will look at Gonfi not being on the entry and thinking, oh, but Gonfi's such a good gunner. Why is he not in the role? And look, on different teams, players can just not fit into the roles that normally they're playing. And I think here, putting Prano back on a similar role to what he was so good on last year, on that Zofia Ash kind of like second entry role. Sleben, as we've already seen, has been an absolute gunner the last few weeks. Stick him on one of those roles and well. And then make Draven comfortable back with the nades, get Hype on the more utility roles like the IQ, the Nomad that we've seen him play a lot last year. People are a lot more comfortable. Arguably, maybe Gonfi isn't, or perhaps maybe the pressure being taken away from him after a poor first few weeks actually now is a lot lighter. I don't know, but I'm liking that they're making innovations here and taking such big kind of like bold changes in the team to try and affect change, because so far it's working. And I keep on speaking about the entries, by the way. Cowana are a team that are so used to getting the entry kill. Think about when we've seen like Grizzly tearing it up on the roam when Sloth has been more conservative, or we've seen Sloth out there making magic happen, being up against walls and windows and doorways and being the guy to find the entry kill for his team, get them in a power position, and the team then plays for that. Secret are just not letting that happen today. And again, it's a wonderful thing to see some change coming through to a team that has struggled so much.
Now, an interesting little technique there from Gorgona on the mirror that I've not seen for a little while, and a few of you may be wondering exactly what he was doing. Why is he shotgunning out the wall before reinforcing and placing the mirror on it? And the reason for that is it just gives you a very slight increase. It's something that's worth, thank you, medics. It's something that's worth doing in your ranked games. You can take that one away with you. It gives you a slight increase in the visibility from the mirror window. You can usually just see a bit of a tighter angle because you don't have that sort of plasterboard hard up against it for one. So especially for that one that's inside of the cubby there, it's just going to give a better angle out through the into the freezer from the hole that he's just shot out there. So that will likely be the reason in there that he's played that. I'm not sure if it might just play into there's also the potential, Des, for just upsetting the hard breaches a little bit as well.
It's one of those kind of weird things. You and I played around in a custom game for a while, like experimenting with, you know, how far you can impact out certain breaches, for example. We always looked at it from the attacker's perspective, but less so from the defender's perspective. Never going to say no to it in this case. I guess maybe you're praying that if there would, for example, be a Hibana on side, admittedly here she's banned away, so maybe looking more towards the Selmas, that it's going to catch instead onto the plasterboard rather than onto the mirror window directly. I don't know. I'm sure there's some reason that we can ask about later on to understand what that is from Gorgona. I'm sure I'll be in the DMs. He'll call me an idiot and everything will be right with the world. Let's see how getting this meeting hatch opened up begins, though. Always the kind of main point that you want open up because it is so central to any of the downstairs pushes. And as soon as that's removed away, guess what you got to worry about next, Ace? It's going to be that Shaiko spot playing behind the double reinforced wall on the north side of Electric.
I mean, if you don't want him to think that you're an idiot, Des, you could lead with the question about whether they've moved to a little C in the name for Cowana. You know, you could tell him that in the middle of the game, that was the pressing thing for you.
I'm doing that right now.
Looking into round 5, then we're getting really close towards the real meat of this one as the Team Secret attack really starts to mount. Look at this, pushing in through bunker at speed. Prano looking to see if he can get an angle onto anybody inside his sight. There's one hard right. He's going to catch shots onto the Melusi. Doesn't manage to down Kendrew. He will live to fight another day, but that was a risky little move. He had very little choice as the pressure is mounting on Electric Hatch as well. Now, Team Secret are trying this Route 1 approach that didn't really work out for them last time. They need to rely on the kills. Draven gets sloughed, but traded out immediately by Gorgona. 45 seconds left to go, and Secret now have control of Pillars. Beautiful long shot onto the mirror. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds.
In a spot, yep, 3 versus 3. That long shot coming out of Hyphen, an absolute beauty onto Gorgona playing down inside of Laundry. But with 25 seconds to play, now's the time where you need to pull the trigger. Things need to start happening here, Secret. If you want to get this one over the line, unless you want to let them crawl back into the game, then by all means, carry on as you are. They push their way up through L, but Anarchic sat there with a shotgun. All Reliable's going to close it out. Kendrew swings for the 3rd, and they will manage to bring things up to 3 and 2 off the back of Anarchic with a hell of a play inside of Elbow.
I think we really could be sat in the middle of one of the big sleeper games for the night, Des. Given the performance as a Team Secret, we were really unsure what to expect coming into this one. But right now, these two are toe-to-toe and duking it out. They are absolutely wailing on each other. And we are the benefactors sat just watching this pure entertainment of a siege match. And we're going to be heading into the final defensive round for Cowana. And this is the first time today, Des, that they're going to be going to one of those tertiary sites. Now, they do have dorms as an option, so an interesting site choice from them here. Let's remember they've just played 2 rounds in Laundry, so they could go back there, but they lost on dorms back-to-back, round 2, round 3, and they've said they want no more part of that action. So we're going to be going to Kitchen and Meeting this time around. I would expect a lot of rear stage presence from Team Secret, but we've also recently seen a little bit of pressure moving in. I sound like a weatherman. A little bit of pressure moving in from the west, Des, and bringing a storm in through the dining room.
Oh, there's a low front on the way here, Ace, and that never spells well for a good sunny weekend. Absolutely. Weatherman Des and Ace apparently here, stepping onto your broadcast. So sorry about this. But look at this long shot from Hype on the right as well. The scary thing is he was pre-firing the whole time, and Gorgona still takes the challenge, probably hopeful that he can get that first shot off with the Vector to connect onto the head of the Nomad against the AK-12 with a bit more kick on it, but sadly not to be the case. I half expected the Secret would employ a really old strat they use where they rush in through Garage, push underneath the armory stairs, and then just come swinging into the south walls inside a meeting and go from there. But no, it is going to be this big tower take, much more conventional than what we're used to seeing from most teams when they're attacking onto meeting. I still remember very vividly, actually, the first time I saw this site attacked, it was Na'Vi who attacked it, and they attacked it from the stage side. I declared meeting to be no man's land. There could just be no one playing inside it. You have players playing inside a split, inside a kitchen, and they were the angles they were using to go for the contest.
Team Liquid have got an interesting hold on this site. They tend to play PSK right up on that bomb, right up at the stage, and then they'll have Sexy Cake usually about mid-meeting hole, just around the hatch, just cruising around, and it's an absolute nightmare. Honestly, the battle lines are drawn. It's just basically go in and see who comes out alive. It's like going into a blender. And talking of blenders, Hife's just run Gorgona through one as he finds an opener onto the Malusi. Advantage Team Secret here in round 6, 4 versus 5, and this is quick progress. Less than half of the round gone. We can see the reinforcement removed. That will be opened up likely by the Zephyr of Slevin. Now there we go, and access has been gained to the plant spot. Prano's got access to Grizzly's insides as he gets a headshot and takes the man down. 3 versus 5 here, and Team Secret, they are cruising in round 6. The diffuser could be going down any second at this rate.
They've cut off split. They've cut off the big tower side. Like, they've basically made, again, meeting a null zone. No one can play inside there. And if they are playing in there, they are in deep trouble. And this is the push I was talking about. They are opening up the south side, albeit later into the round, to try and pinch onto them. And Prano's having a field day on the south side of the map here, finding his second kill. Draven now going in for the plant. I imagine on the south side of the room. Yes, last time around they smoked this out. The C4 comes through. The spray down comes in, but they're a little bit too late. The diffuser is already down. And it's all hands on panic stations here for the side of Cowana. I say the whole side, it's just going to be Kendrew. A flawless round coming out from Team Secret. That has got to be one of the rounds that you stick in the book and come back to review every single time you want to see a textbook way to attack this site. Beautiful
attack. Beautiful attack onto meeting there. Just the old bait and switch. Just put all that pressure onto rear stage. Really force your way in there. Get yourself a couple of kills. And then Draven just stealthily moves in from the rear into garage. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang, diffuser on the ground, and it is as easy as that for Team Secret. I love the big brain idea from Kendrew coming up those laundry stairs. It was a great attempt, but it was always an uphill battle for him, just using that nitro to open up his line of sight. He was a fraction of a second late. He could potentially have stopped the diffuser going down, and it wouldn't have been an easy challenge onto him at that point if he recognised the diffuser was down on the ground, but still, there would have been an awful lot of work for him to do. Now, heading into round 7, the sides switcheroo, and Cowana move on to the attack. And talking of a lot of work to do, that's what they've got in front of them now. Coming in with Team Secret on the defense, you wouldn't like to put any money against them because they are flying at the minute. And when they can set things up and Cowana have to play into them, this is not going to be easy to come back from 2-4 down.
The only thing I think they'll take in some solace here is that they now get to control the tempo of the rounds a little bit better. And I say that in that Secret were just looking for chaos in every single round, except for maybe round 6. Think about the number of times that Prano was in the building inside 30 seconds and gunning someone down and then proceeding to find a 2K in the next 20 seconds. Cowana had no time to breathe. They couldn't play on their own, which is the style they're so used to having Sloth do, for example. Everything about the way that Cowana wanted to play, Secret slapped them on the wrist and said, no, that is not allowed today. But at least here now they get to dictate the flow a little bit better, unless Secret have different ideas like getting up in windows and trying to shut them down. Again, a thing to note about their setup here, Gonfi's the one playing on the roaming Jaeger sort of style. Slevin's playing a more hard support style with the C4 and the Goyos. You've got Hive playing behind the mirrors. You've got Prano playing on the more supportive style. And arguably Draven is going to be the one also joining Gonfi on the roam a little bit. So the guys who played Ace and the Maverick respectively on the attacking half are now the ones playing on the more aggressive roaming operators here on the defense. Really interesting seeing that change up. Is this maybe a case where they've all sat down and said, well, I really want to play on roam, but every single player has said that's like, right, guys, here's how it's going to work. You can play entry, you can be aggressive on attack, but on defense, these guys get to be aggressive. Agree? And they go, yeah, sounds fair enough, 50-50, go on, then we'll take that.
That's it. You've just got to share it around. You've got to share the spoils. Now, it looks like Team Secret are doing a reasonable job here of just slowing Cowana down a bit. Cowana have been a pretty aggressive side on the whole, particularly when it comes to the entry kills. They've got quite a low average opening kill time of around 1 minute 15, Des, and that is to put it into context, Team Secrets is up at around 1 minute 37, so you're talking 20-25 seconds faster in a round. It really is getting in there and getting the job done. But as we can see, we're nearly halfway through and we're still 5 versus 5. So Secret, I mean, they're in a turtle defense, so they're not really feeding into that Cowana game. But it'd be interesting to know if that was part of the actual thought process of, look, Cowana like to play a really quick early game. We're not going to feed into that with heavy roam games. We're going to turtle up and we're going to let them come to us. We're going to let them burn that time and see just how they can do with a quick execute rather than having 2 minutes for an execute.
They've also thought about the kind of double stacking up on towards Elbow, because they've got the one player playing in behind Elbow in the shield, and then they've also got a mirror window facing that supply wall looking, how? Why would you not clear out the player that's playing in that spot in the first place? Heaven knows, but they've been gunned down in the push in. Iana goes charging in as well, and they're looking the wrong way. Gorgona's more than happy to collect a kill, almost finds a second, sees the head, but sadly the fingers don't move as fast as the eyes and will not collect the kill. However, 3 versus 3, this is not a bad spot for Cowana to be in, but they've got to start making moves now that there are only 35 seconds left, Ace.
35 seconds and out goes the Nitro. No, Prano, no! He takes down Hive, rips away his life and just shuts him down with the explosive. That's the last thing he wanted. Also clearing out the laser gate that was on that door. Draven steps up, tries to make amends for his teammate, who does get shut down as well in the process. 1 versus 2. This is all down to Draven. The diffuser is going down on the ground and Arkic is doing the job. Grizzly finds the headshot using the defender's own utility against them, just in that mirror window that's been punched out and shuts down the round. Great attack, Cowana.
Prano giving us his best reason for why he should be playing the site operators here and saying, guys, look, I'm not good with C4s.
That's how you get out on the roam, Des.
That's exactly how you get out on the roam. That's what he's gunning for here. So I'm really curious to see if there's any kind of swap up or change in this round. Obviously not part of the plan, but looking at the operator on it coming through there at the back of your screen, you may well see him doing that by the looks of it. In fact, quick pause being called out. We are seeing the Wamai, the Smoke, the Mute, the Goyo, and what would be, I believe, the Bandit was briefly hovered, but he has disconnected. They are lost without being stolen. What are they?
At night they come without being fetched. In the day they are lost without being stolen.
Correct.
Stars.
Correct. Oh,
there we go. Bada bing, kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
We'll have some more to come, no doubt, in future days if we get round to the point of an extended rehost. Don't want to go stealing too many ideas, because you and Jackie, you made it an absolute treat last year during the rehost. So much so that you even got your own graphics for it, if I recall.
Oh, we had the full works producer. We had it all going on. We had a bit of fun with it. That's fair to say. But yeah, a nice homage there. I'm sure Jackie would appreciate that one as well. So heading into round 8, then we will see whether this is going to be an homage to Team Secret's performances so far and a continuation, or whether that break is going to slow them down at all. Hopefully we don't see any recurrence of issues for Prano. He can get himself back in and nice and smooth and comfortable.
Mate, I mean, what did I tell you about the rotation of what they were going to play? He did so bad with the C4. They were like, get your ADSs down and get the hell off site. We don't want to see you anymore. Don't want to see your face. Either you come back with 5 skulls or you're out the game. End of story.
Simple as that. Now, Kendrew, he's going straight up to the top of the big tower there, looking to start that clearance and to think about getting Attic open. So he's obviously happy. The droning has been done, aware that he's going to be safe from the rear stage area, not going to be pushed onto with a flank from Aroma. We get the master bedroom wall open there as well, and we've got to be careful with those drones. Gorgona just going straight into the drone hole there, getting tagged up by that Mute jammer. I'm not sure if he's been able to recover that drone or not. If I just have a look, he does have one in pocket, so I think he's probably been able to pick that one up now. And Arkic has got the wall open, got a line, can't find the man inside of Attic, but it does force one out into bedroom. This is good progress so far from Cowana. It's just down to really the progress that Kendrew has made now. If the squeeze is coming in from both sides, this could be good. Hive, however, it's a nice C4 from underneath onto an Arkic to open things up here, and that is a great start for Team Secret.
I'd love to see Hive circle back round here potentially and get underneath like we saw the defenders trying to do earlier on when Cowana were defending this site. But currently what we're trying to see is them getting control of Attic, which is what I think they're starting to take here with the kill coming through onto Kendrew. Oh, Draven downed on his push through, unfortunately, as well. That's the smoke down, which is going to really sting. However, with the 2 kills they've got onto the other side at this point, Cowana are kind of losing the wind in their sails here. Things not looking super hot at this point. They've got some work to do if they want to be able to swing this one back over. If they can clear out Attic, it's a great start, but there's a flank coming up. It is going to be Prano, and they say you either come up with 5 scores or we don't want to see you. This round, they won't be seeing them. Grizzly gets swung on by Gomf, who's having a field day in this round. 2 kills for himself, and Secret, by the looks of it, should be stepping up to 5 and 3, unless Sloth has got something to say. I know he's going to watch this Bob back later and be dreaming of us screaming his name as he pulls up a 1 versus 3, but my God, if it is not going to be a big task, he gets Pokeballed out there. Congratulations, Sleben, you are the proud owner of a Sloth. Send that one off to Bill's PC if you really want, but it's a 5 and 3 for them. And now with Secret getting an all shot as well, Kobe coming out of Prano, they are in good spirits. Got to catch them all. I agree.
They certainly are in good spirits. We can see it not only on the player cams with smiles and laughs all round, but getting in the chat as well. And Cowana very quiet on the receiving end there. And you've just got to wonder, you know, there's a mental game always being played here between these players, and they're all friends afterwards. But it's just a wonder there as to whether Cowana are feeling it a little bit inside of this matchup. It's unfortunate for Kendrew there because he gets a great 180 flick onto the stairs and just absolutely destroys Prano. But then as soon as he moves back into Attic, he's going up against that deployable shield, and they've just got his number. But what a round from Gomfi. I just want to flag him up again. He's gone 5 and 5 now, really starting to get himself running. And Hive 9 and 4. He's having a great day. Open things up with a beautiful nitro onto an Arctic from underneath there. And it's a shame for Cowana, really, because the attack started well, Des. They got the closet wall open quickly. They had pressure from Attic. So effectively, they were sort of doing everything right. But the problem was that they let an Arctic wriggle away from them underneath, and it all went downhill.
You Sloth. Bam. See you later, buddy. We want to look back on there with a tear in his eye, I'm sure. And I agree with you, though. Yep, it did start well. They had the right kind of idea, but it always comes down to ultimately, like I always love saying, Ace, it comes down to it being an FPS at heart. You've got to be able to hit your shots. And if you're losing 2 members, once you've got those key positions, you may as well not have them at all. Let's see, though, how round number 9 plays out. Secret, again, a scoreline no one ever could have predicted. 5 and 3 is where things currently sit. And again, another pretty defensive setup coming out of Secret. You've got the Aruni, you've got the Mirror, you've got the Mutes to block the intel, you've got the Goyo shields, you've got everything being brought along here to impede Cowana in some way, including 3 Nitro cells. We'll keep a very close eye on them as the round progresses. But first and foremost, we need to gauge where Cowana are starting their attack.
Right, Cowana, come on. I want to see you wrap them up like a python here. I want you surrounding them and just crushing the life out of them as you move through rear stage, freezer, laundry. Don't give them an inch to breathe here. Sloth pushing through aggressively, looking to get himself towards that rear stage. That will start the push potentially towards pillars. He is going to face up with Sleben. Takes the shots through the wall. Sleben will dance away, manages to go away with a full 100 HP of life as well, so he's got away with that. There was obviously some information there for Sloth, and he took his chance, and on a different day, maybe he gets that kill, and we don't want to get to the end of this and see that being the real summary of how the day has gone for Cowana.
I was going to say they missed Gomfi on the top floor. We saw the outline through the flooring, but of course the drone can't see through surfaces. Sloth might get himself stung big time here if he's not careful. All it's going to take is Gomfi to get a more ideal position. He could probably find himself getting a kill down these stairs if Sloth pulls back up. And I appreciate what Sleben was trying to do, by the way. He was just waiting to kill a drone or 2, but that drone he didn't realize was backed by someone coming in through meeting and spraying through the wall. Gomfi. It was kind of a bit of a chancing kind of thing. They tried to make it happen. They got nothing from it, but Gomfi is on the move. He is the predator. He strikes big. Easy. And Sloth had no idea who's coming, and like Kay says, it's easy. Down he goes and almost finds a second, but no, 2 quick kills come back from Cowana. 4 versus 3, despite that sneaky beaky little peek there coming out from Gomfi.
Great response from Cowana there to shut it down. As you say, the freest kill that Gomfi's going to get all day. It was just great positioning from him, and he took full advantage of it. Sloth, it's one of those. It's easy to miss people up on that top floor when droning, because you can't get your drones up there. You've got to start up there effectively, and if they keep themselves covered, very, very difficult. So no criticism on him, but great play from Sloth to get it. Now, that leaves us 4 versus 3. 30 seconds left to go. It is all down to Cowana still to make this happen as the attackers. They're inside. Kendrew's got an opportunity to get the diffuser down here. Is he going to take it? Yes. He starts putting that briefcase down on the ground and activating it. And Arkic does find Sleben as well. 2 versus 4. It is all down to Draven and Prano. They've got a mountain of work ahead of them. They've really got to start getting through this. They need to find these 1v1s, and I don't know about that, Prano. He looks like he's off on the rotate here. He's going for a master flank, Des. He's trying to move his way all the way through. I was going to say shut down by an Arctic, but no. Beats the man on the reverse angle. Draven can't find his man. With 20 seconds on the clock, it's very unlikely from here. 1 versus 3. Out goes the Nitro. No use whatsoever as Grizzly finds the explosive, then finds the man. Prano shut down Cowana. The round is theirs, and they keep themselves in touch, keep themselves fighting. 4-5 on the scoreboard now.
Prano is terrifying when he's on form. Holy hell, like hitting a shot like that, walking into a room where you have no idea where anyone is. Anarchic's got him in his sights as soon as he walks in the room, and Prano still wins his ones. A little bit slow on the uptake, mainly from Anarchic, but where I will give him a bit of a shout is when the execute started, I thought, man, these 2 smoke grenades are on the south side of the map. They need those where they're going for the execute right now. But what he very cleverly did was applied some pressure through lobby hatch, found the kill onto, I think it was Kendra, who was playing inside of supply, or laundry, sorry. And from there, it was like the fear of God was put into secret. Everyone froze. No one moved. They didn't know what to expect. And before you know it, the plant is down and Arcic's rotated back over to his team on the top floor. And everything's going well from there. It was a really good play by Anarchic up until the point when Prano won the 1v1. Either way, Cowana begin closing the gap. 5-4 now to Secret. Is this going to be yet another overtime game? And we've got to say, Ace, it has been the greatest addition this stage to have these overtime games, because look at how many incredible round 14, round 15 moments we've had so far.
Oh, I'm in love with it. There's no two ways, Des. It's absolutely fantastic. Like you say, we get into those overtime rounds. Both teams are picking something up when they really deserve it at that point, and we just have that tension and excitement of seeing a few extra rounds of this sort of glory, and you just can't ask for better than that, to be honest. You just really can't. On a Monday night, it's exactly what you need. Just a little pep up after you've maybe gone back to work. It's Monday, start of a new week, and you've still got 4 days ahead of you, but you know what? You've got a UL tonight. It doesn't get better than that when you're going to see action like this.
It's kind of cheating. It's almost like Friday evening comes a little bit early. You know, if you're really feeling cheeky, you might order yourself a pizza, sit down with a bevy or 2 and enjoy the games.
Oh, it's what it's all about, Des. That's just living the good life. Now, we are in round 10. 30 seconds off the board so far. Again, aggressive approach from Cowana. They're not messing about. They're getting themselves inside quickly. We can see they are looking for a top floor clearance here. Very conscious of what's going on in and around dorms, and Sloth. He's going to look to push, potentially supported by Grizzly, I think it will be, as Kendrew moves away. But I don't know if he's looking for the challenge on the rear stage stairs or not. He's actually moved himself back in now then. Are they aware of Prano? I think they are. Grizzly, he knows he's there, surely. He's on the slow peak. He's just having a look. He's waiting. He just needs to bide his time. Surely he gets the kill. Yes! Just manages to trace the man across and shut him down with a headshot. Kendrew double down, finds one onto Gomfi. 5 versus 3, and things are going well for Cowana inside round 10.
Oh dear, Secret starting to take these early round engages, just probably realizing very quickly that they can't win all of them, and while they're losing the majority of them at the moment. 2 kills down, 5 versus 3. This is a massive advantage for Cowana with 100 seconds still left on the clock. They could play as slow as they want and still probably go on to win this round. That angle being held up for a second there by Hive. Well, contested by Hive, contested by Gorgona on the other end. Suddenly, no one quite connecting a kill as the bullets fly past each other like ships in the night. However, it does mean this upstairs control is now with Cowana. They've got, again, so much time to start looking for an execute here. Anarchic still holding out inside a trophy. Wants to be careful that Hive isn't going to catch him, but he's just seen him on the camera. He can go and position himself for this angle now, and this could be the freest kill of his life.
Certainly could. Hive moves his way up. Can he squeeze past? He can get the electronics. Oh, they're reliant on that. Grizzly finds Sleben, who gets an Arctic. So a quick trade coming in there. 4 versus 2. But what is happening with Hive? Shut down by Kendrew. Well aware that the Claymore maybe wasn't sufficient. Gorgona gets the diffuser down and activated. 1 versus 4. It's over in a heartbeat as Sloth shuts down Draven with a headshot. Cowana, they level things up 5-5. And boy, have we got a game on our hands, Des. We're definitely going to 12. We might be going further.
I love what you saw in that round there. It's almost laid out on the screen for you and written. It's that obvious. They see the flank coming out of the Goyo up armory stairs and go, oh, wait, we're in a 5 versus 3. There are 2 on site. We're all alive. Let's just execute right now. So by the time the Goyo actually gets upstairs into armory and starts pushing through trophy, there's only 1 player left. Kendrew sat holding the long angle, knows that he's coming through trophy. The rest are in a 4 versus 2 on site, going for a plant, going for kills. It just goes to show how the smallest thing, like a tiny piece of intel on the other side of the map, leads to such a big call on the attacking side to say, yep, now is the time that we go. We win the round right here, right now. And Cowana showing great adaptation to information that they're collecting. As you say, 12 rounds are guaranteed, but Ace, this game deserves overtime. It 100% does. That's how much of a banger it has been to end playday number 6.
Honestly, I could watch this all night, Des. I could literally, let's up it to 50 rounds and let's really see, let's see who's the best.
Away here, Ace.
Let's just keep going. I don't want this to end. Now, there's an interesting point to make here, Des. You picked up on it earlier. You said coming into the attack now, Cowana, they'd be able to dictate the pace a little bit more. If you remember, I threw a stat at you back in round 7 saying that Cowana in general, in their games, their average opening kill time was around 1 minute 15, over 20 seconds faster than the average for Team Secret. So generally speaking, they like to play quicker at the beginning. Now, for me, that kill time, that entry kill time, I've been keeping an eye on it, and it seems to have been coming down to me. And Cowana are just up in the pace, up in the pace, up in the pace. And Team Secret are being forced to play into it and to play at that speed. But if we have a look, the kills, they are starting to fall in the favour of Cowana, those opening kills. We've just seen Grizzly shut down Prano, backed up by Kendra a few seconds later. And Team Secret are just more and more finding themselves on the back foot here, and they need to figure a way out to slow things down here.
It's like we said in the last round, really. They're kind of almost experiencing what Cowana were experiencing in the first half, where Cowana are very used to getting the entry kill and enjoying the kind of power they then have to roam around the map uncontested because the other side is back on drones, being slow. You kill all the utility off, therefore the execute is weaker due to no drones. It's almost like Secret are now feeling the same impact. They're losing 1 or 2 members very, very easily on the attacking side of things. And I think you just dropped that state inside of a mute, buddy. That's not going to go off yet. You need to get rid of the mute jammer on the other side.
Certainly do, otherwise the Claymore will have 0 effect at all. Kendrew just working on that attic clearance as the Maverick, as we've seen previously from him. Not to the greatest success as of yet. We saw it used well by Team Secret, but we haven't really seen a great attic push come in, or certainly not consistently from Cowana. Kendrew will gain access now as the reinforcement drops away. I believe he's also got, I think it's Grizzly or Gorgona over there with him. I'm not sure who it was, but they are going to start pressuring Gomfi inside of attic anytime now. Out comes the nade. ADS1 gets it. Now, will another follow? Yes, it will. And ADS2 will do its job. You do not need to worry about grenades unless there's a third, which there is. It takes out the Vulcan shield, and that leaves Gomfi exposed now. He's not going to take any damage yet, but he does need to be very cautious. But, Des, here comes Prano once again.
Oh boy, if he gets up these stairs here and pulls off a massive flank, or even just through the hatch should be enough, sees the man and gets the down to Kendrew. And like a child that's just robbed a sweet shop, he's pulling back down green and looking to get in more passive position. That's it, he's gone. He's way out of there. He's done his work and brought down Kendrew. Admittedly had no frags left, and Grizzly has now used his 4th, but a 5 versus 4. Sloth finding one from on trophy here. Doesn't matter what you say, but once he's in a power position like this, he can hit some heads. They come reeling up. It was a 4 versus 4, and Prano finally brings down Sloth as he strikes again from the other side, goes for a challenge. It is tit for tat here, back and forth, and Narkit goes down. It's a glorified 2 versus 2, make it a 2 versus 1. Gorgona and Grizzly against Gomfi. Clutch or bust? It is bust. Grizzly in for round 11 for Cowana. They move up to match point. It's 6 and 5. This game is back and forth. My God, I'm living for it.
Surely Cowana cannot do this and bring it all the way back. They were 3-5 down. They now find themselves 6-5 ahead after 3 consecutive attacking wins, and they are having the run of things. Absolutely no surprise to see a tactical timeout coming in from Team Secret here. They, as I said, as maybe one round before would have worked, they have to slow things down because they are just getting caught out here. Unfortunately, I mean, what a shot from Prano. Team Secret, they're hitting the shots. They're playing well. Cowana are just playing better.
They are. It's honestly really strange to see a team be so commanding on the attack. And in a way, I say strange because there's been such a kind of weird variance between teams and even regions as well, actually. APAC, a region that we all knew as being APAC attack, a very aggressive attacking region, for the longest time now in this stage has moved to being very defensive sided because teams on the roam can cause absolute chaos. And there's almost an attempt between these two teams for defenders to be aggressive on the roam. But on the attack, the rapid shutdown in the early round is ridiculous. The defenders can't play the game they want to. They're kind of sat there having to adapt with information as it comes in about what the attackers are trying to do. Both teams look incredible on the attack, but quite shaky on the defense, to be honest.
I'd agree. There's a real chance that somebody's going to suffer whiplash on the back of this one, Des, because they're just coming in at absolute breakneck speed and just seeing what happens. They're heading for a chicane and they just don't slow down. It's just, yep, we're going to take this at full speed, and if we stay on, then great. And it really is just a roll of the dice to see what happens in that first sort of minute and a half of the round. Now, I get the feeling, given that it's match point, we might see a slightly slower push here. Cowana have been very aggressive at getting into the map. I think that will remain, but I think we will see that sort of 2 minutes to 1 minute 30 on the clock, mid-round sort of pause a little bit and just take stock, get ourselves prepped, let's find out where everybody is, and then go in and execute.
I'm really keen to see where their attack comes from this round as well, because again, we're seeing electrified. They've got the bandit batteries down here to, I think, protect the player that we were playing. I think last time round, it was Kendra when they were on the defense. I imagine here it'll be Gonfi playing behind, or playing in Shaiko's spot on the downstairs. They're going to have to clear that by either coming in through blue, pushing in via construction, or coming down big tower. That, or they abandon that plan altogether and go instead down through freezer. So I'm not sure which way it's going to position out. By the looks of it, they do want to start on the north side. So this is going to require a bit of a multifaceted approach here, I think, to be able to pressure the player that plays in Shaiko.
This could be it then. 6-5 to Cowana. We are 30 seconds in. We can see initial pressure from them pretty much exclusively to the rear stage and bunker area. It is all stacking up on the north side of the map for the time being. There's no pressure applied to Fleaser, no pressure applied to Laundry at the minute. They're going to clear out them rear stage stairs. We've got Sleben, we've got Gonfi looking to challenge. Sleben does have Nitro in hand, and it looks like there is a man just led down for Cowana on that sort of mezzanine of the rear stage stairs, and needs to be careful, because if Sleben chooses to let go of this Nitro, it could be dangerous for Sloth. Out it comes. It will clear the Claymore at least. Will not do any damage onto Sloth. He manages to keep himself light on his feet there, just floating like a butterfly, Des, and it just prevents that Nitro from stinging like the bee.
Oh, he's just waiting for that head to appear, that black hat from the Maverick to appear, and he'll be going for it straight away, but not going to be able to find it. I was hoping maybe a C4 will come singing up, because that was a double kill just waiting to happen if he really wanted to be a chat about it and try and make a play. But with that being opened up, it does make playing, at least on the left side of Electric, a little more uncomfortable. They're slowly starting to remove these kind of pockets of safety around the pillar area and around Shaiko and somewhat in towards Elbow too. If they can get enough of that control, that's when Cowana can strike big. My concern again, though, is that they're leaving themselves a lot to do because of that electrified wall, and you've still got to worry about the roam of players like Prana. I was going to call him Shaiko then, who could come and cause absolute chaos on the roam.
This is the problem for me. I don't think Cowana are getting a good enough grip on these roamers. We saw Prano hurt them last time around with the wonderful shot up through Attic Hatch. This time, he's on the crouch walk. Once again, he's been spotted on the drone. Can the challenge come in? Yes! Sloth finds the headshot onto Prano, and that is the answer to my question, Cowana. They had that flank locked down with a drone, and that was absolutely perfect from them. Not a chance for Cowana. Here comes the push as they look to move in. Draven just holding himself tight. He's on the shot. Surely he wins. No pre-fire from Gorgona. Beats him. Gets a second onto Sleben. 4 versus 2. 20 seconds left to go. Gonfi's down. It's all down to Hive. Surely this is too much for him to do. It is. He can't even find Kendra on the laundry stairs. Multi-faceted push, Des, as we've been wanting throughout, and it proves successful once again. Cowana, they take a hard-fought victory. 7-5.
Medics is the absolute GOAT for catching all of these flank drones today so far. That final one, beautiful. Otherwise, you think it's off pure luck, but the positioning, honestly, just positioning of some of these drones, though, it goes to show just how valuable the utility is and not committing all of your drones to site is. If that wasn't there, maybe you get Prana coming up behind, he kills out big tower, they lose all their pressure onto pillar, and that's the safety spot immediately for Secret, and that